Okay, that's a good start. Good start.
Thank you. I think I can too.
Buster, wait a minute. I wanted to get you going. This is unbelievable here, ladies and gentlemen. This Moira is going to bowl. Moira is 3 weeks from delivery. The due date. May 4th is her due date. Here comes Buster. I think it's going down the middle, Buster. Oh, a spare for Moira! A strike for Nikki! Oh, one left. A lot of concentration there. All right. Good show. Typical Sunday morning in Loveland, Ohio. Moy's got about another 2 weeks to go, I'd say, max.
And over here we have Buster and his lovely wife, Nanette.
Okay. Are you a couple? Are you engaged?
Dad, you're talking like a freak.
You're acting like a freak.
My dad's talking like one.
Okay, well, I guess that is within the realm of leeway here, you know.
Slap in the face.
Well, there's the Maxie boy. He's coming at his food. Look at him go. Good boy. What's your name? Is that Buster in there?
Yeah.
Is that Bubba and Max? Where'd he go? Where'd he
Can I
go?
see?
We're down 80 feet below ground level here. We just came down a private elevator shaft into this Victorian room. This is the Cincinnati Art Group.
Everything in this room belonged to, everything in the corner belonged to Harry Houdini. It was made in 1903 and performed in every one of his acts up until he died in 1925. She had one on each side, and he'd take a seed and drop it in the pot, and the roses would blow, bloom, and rise. Doesn't sound like much of a trick, but at that time it was a great trick, and so great that Jermaine the Wizard had one in 1903 over there, and that's his. He was out of Cleveland, and probably the finest magician in the world. On the wall is Houdini's Houdini poster, a medium by the name of Lamar King. Lamar King belonged to, how many are believers in here? Okay, good. Well, that makes two of us, all right? Well, it's nice to know where we're going. These guys don't know. Of how he had been duping all these people. He wrote a book. The other mediums took offense to that book. They call it The Psychic Mafia. It's still in print. It shows how all these things are done, materialization, etc. And they shot him in the groin. And he left and went to Florida. I became interested in magic, and like Houdini and all the other magicians, started going into the spiritualism. You know, what's this all about? Expose it. The spiritualists use trickery. We don't believe that in the world. Maybe.
There was a well-known antique surround show, a French one.
This was signed, and it was Japanese
Beautiful.
or Chinese.
It looks like Japanese.
She paints 7 pictures. She paints a picture. This opens up. By these wooden cans and sandbags. Almost like the first computer. And when she paints a picture, then you pull the string and it moves cams over, and she paints another picture. And you pull the string and she paints another.
Actually, there's really a picture really appears there?
Yes, and I show them to you today, but they're pornographic, and I really can't do that, you know. If the men were here, it'd be all right.
About when does this date
No,
from?
right.
Meiji period?
This should be laid there until '74. And a friend of mine went down and made a deal with Cypress Gardens to buy it all. And I didn't know up until, I guess a year ago, this fellow was selling it on consignment basis. I became a good friend of him, and I bought it finally when he passed away at Lisbon. He said, "Why don't you buy all this junk?" So I got all the junk, or a majority of the junk. And now these were dolls that you could buy for maybe
Yes, there they go.
$2 or whatever it was years ago.
I remember in,
She's 1880.
sometimes you go down to the boardwalk and you put a penny in the machine and maybe an automaton that
Yeah.
did something.
Yeah, I can remember that. You're the Atlantic City? Yeah, I love it. Excuse me. He says, "I got something up here that's to do with coins, and you want it, you come on over and we'll work out a deal." So I went over, and there was a great magician called T. Nelson Downs. Now, T. Nelson Downs would do stuff I can't do anymore. Like he would do things like this, you know. He'd show his hands empty and reach up in the air. He said, he'd go like this. Vanish right before he acts. Then he'd reach up and pull up another one. Then he'd throw it in the hat, see? Then he'd reach up in the air and get another one. And then he'd get a whole bunch of those things, see? Put them in the hat. And then, it's a few magic words, and of course, this happened off stage, but I'm going to trip it myself. And all of a sudden, all those coinings that he produced.
I've begun.
Here's the hat. And then, of course, he'd show the hat up. Show the hat up. So,
Unbelievable.
that belonged to T. Nelson Downs, and T. Nelson Downs performed in 1903. And this was up in the guy's attic. And of course I get it and I research it and so forth. That means a lot to me. It doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people, but to me it's pretty neat. And this is just another. And this is Thurston's ball. Who said they saw Thurston?
Then,
I did. You want to feel Thurston's ball?
Oh, sure.
That he floated. He floated that.
He did?
He did. He floated that across the stage, and maybe you saw that.
Have you had it replated?
No, it's just as is, as is.
well, really.
If this was Otis or not, this is called a cardboard, a window card. It shows Thurston and the guy going up, and he vanishes. Okay. Thurston was looking for a gimmick, and he thought if he could make a rope go up in the air, a Hindu boy climb, and vanish in midair, that'd be a draw. So he got a lot. He went and had a sculpture make, like you see here is the cast and so forth. There's a beginning of the wood And there's the final product. And this sculpture happens to turn out to be a very Hans Schuler of Baltimore, which is supposed to be a great sculptor in their days or this day. Now, here's what Thurston did. You know, the camera, we didn't have VCRs and so forth in those days, and it was pretty new. So he took a picture of this Hindu boy, okay, on these, you know, these glass slides, okay? Now, this is hard to see, but he had a basket, and he'd make the rope rise. Now that was not difficult to do. Someone up in the flies would, you know, pull on a black wire and then the rope would rise. Then he'd get a Hindu boy out, and he'd have the Hindu boy climb the rope. Well, this wasn't hard to do. And how to make him vanish, that was a trick. The Hindu boy got up here, he lit a smoke pot, a lot of smoke. He showed a picture on the smoke of this guy, showed a picture on the smoke of this guy. This guy crawled behind the curtains. When the smoke went away, the picture was cut off, and of course the boy had vanished.
Remarkable.
Follow that?
Yes.
So that's pretty neat. And because of that, he had to have a poster of it. And this is poster. And here's an early Keller of a decapitation, which is a window card too. They differ of a poster area, I guess, because they're made of
Small
cardboard.
format,
Small
cardboard,
format.
yeah, format.
Now these are to a Keller's poster made by Strobridge. This is Strobridge. And these were, they're matched posters. The numbers like 189 and 190 or something like that. And they were, of course, here. This is a levitation. That means floating a girl. And this is gone. They vanished a girl. He covered her, pulled the sheet away, and it's gone. So, well, there's Adrie Herman and company, and I'm a magician, and there was lots of magicians. And he traveled the world 9 times, and this is his trick, and I think it's wonderful, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I'm going to tell you how most of it is done. Okay. He would come on stage with the gals and carrying a big beer barrel, and he'd show it empty, and he'd put paper across the front and back, and he'd take a spigot like this, shove it in the paper, turn it on, and if any drink called for, you could have. If you wanted to, what's your favorite? I would say Perfect Manhattan.
Okay.
Perfect Manhattan, all right? Yeah, looks like a vodka person, and give you vodka. Beer. He looks like a 7-Up. One in every crowd, whatever it takes. Anyhow, but that's what he did, right out of here. And it was wonderful. I mean, you know, any drink called for, he would get out of his barrel. Well, the modus operandi was he would fill this up. This is a lot of room for liquid. You put this on and press this button. Maybe you can't see that from where you are, but then this little spigot would come into play, and then he could turn this, put the spigot in here. Now he's like that, and he'd get the liquid from here down to the spigot. Any drink you wanted. You know, this was tissue paper across the front. All you saw was a spigot.
Then he would have to lead people was because you can't.
The devil or whatever it was, who was sitting on a table now, and he would say to the devil, look around. He'd look around. Do you see your card? Do you see them all of them? Hold your card up, will you please? Do you see that one now? Okay. Then he open his mouth, and 2 of the 3 chosen cards would drop out of his mouth on the ribbon. And he'd press this, and you can't see it, but the 3rd card would shoot out of his head up here. Now that was done, but evidently he must have done all right because he was a very highly paid performer. In this day and age, though, I don't think it would go so well. On the lights here for a second because it's a little dark.